Good morning, Facebook and YouTube.
There's a new style of fishing going around today, but it's not done with rods and reels or tackle. The rods and reels have been replaced with computers, and the tackle are now unsolicited. This is Kevin Frazier at the Outdoor National Bank. Never provide your personal information in response to an unsolicited request. No legitimate business or financial institution will ask you for information via an email. Helping your dreams become reality at the Outdoor National Bank. Equal housing lender. Member FDIC.
Morning, TJ Ferguson.
Live from First State Bank Studios, good morning. I'm Oran Jackson.
And I'm Micah Frazier.
It's 7 a.m. We're committing this time to reading some scripture. Today it's Matthew 6. It says, "But seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well. Therefore, do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own." That was Matthew 6. This passage reminds us to keep our priorities in line. When we place God first, seeking his kingdom and his ways, his promises to provide for our needs. It's easy to get anxious about the future, but Jesus calls us to live in the present and trust him day by day. We don't have to carry the weight of tomorrow's plans today. This 7 a.m. scripture is brought to you by Collins Construction and Trucking Company. That's 580-236-9295.
Go ahead.
You're tuned in to Audible's first 96.7 KBL. I'm Oran Jackson, hanging out with Micah Frazier.
Yes, sir. And today we're doing another blast from the past. We're doing the top 10 songs for 1998. This day, September 15th. We have more on that. We'll also be talking about what happened over the weekend at the Born and Raised Festival. And I know everybody wants to talk about that between Gavin Adcock and
Zach Bryan.
Zach Bryan. How about Zach Brown? It's all over the internet. It's all over TikTok. Crazy stuff. Also, surprisingly, the boxing match on Netflix. A lot of people were disappointed with that. Terrence Crawford unanimously defeating, not even just, split decision, unanimously defeating Canelo Alvarez. Is it Alvarez?
I just know by Canelo.
Canelo, yeah. That's all I ever hear is Canelo. But we got your top 10 songs. Give us a call, 286-6642. Good morning, TJ Ferguson and Cassie Johnson on our Facebook Live. You can also go on our Facebook Live and YouTube Live and get your request in and just have a good conversation with me and the one and only Oran Jackson. Till then, here's Vince Gill. Good morning, Cassie. What we playing today, TJ?
What's up, TJ Fergie? What up, Cassie? How you doing this morning?
What's going on, Cassie? What was what? I had Canelo, and Sean Douglas says I had Canelo until Crawford came out to the song on Desperado. The mariachi doesn't lose. Oran's doing great this beautiful Monday morning.
So what? Oran is doing very good. Shorty said, "What up, Mike?" She said, "What up, Mike?"
What up, Cassie? Oh, TJ Ferguson. What we playing today? Drew Walford. Figured I would pop in quickly and say hi. What's up, Drew Walford? We're doing the top 10 songs of September 15th, 1998 day.
What's up, Drew?
TJ Ferguson says Mortal Kombat, Sub-Zero or Kung Lao? Or we're going back to Scorpion.
Scorpion. You want to outro this and put me in the look?
Funny, just watched a movie from 1998 last night. Which movie was that? Meet Joe Black. Is that with
Oh, that's with
what is his name? Brad Pitt.
Yeah, Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
I love that movie.
I haven't seen that in so long. All right, that was the number 10 song of September 15th, Vince Gill, If You Ever Have Forever in Mind. We're doing the top 10 songs, country songs of September 15th, 1998. And we have more to the list. That was Vince Gill, Romantic Ballad with Gill's signature smooth vocals. Coming up right now, we got Oran Jackson with Your Weather.
Here's your McCurtain County weather forecast, brought to you by Pine Cellular, coverage when it matters most. Today, a slight chance of showers between 1 p.m. and 4 p.m., then a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms after 4 p.m. Then mostly sunny, highs near 93 degrees. And tonight, a 20% chance of showers and thunderstorms before 10 p.m. Lows around 68 to end your night.
That was your weather with Oran Jackson. We're talking about the top 10 songs, September 15, 1998. Drew Wolford says, that's so funny. He just watched a movie from 1998 last night. Meet Joe Black with Brad Pitt and Anthony Hopkins. Two great actors. And I'm sad because growing up, we had a lot of great actors in the 90s coming up from they might have started in the 80s, 70s. But it was like 90s movies, they hit the top of the mountain. Like they were awesome. And it's so hard to get into the actors nowadays. And, I don't know. It's just different. Maybe I'm just getting old and I just like what I grew up accustomed to. But there are some movies that they do a pretty good job. It's just, I really don't go to the movies anymore that much. Unless it's something that I know I'm going to like. But we have the number 9 song with Don't Laugh at Me by Mark Willis. September 15th, 1998. It's a socially conscious ballad urging compassion and kindness, sung from a perspective of those who feel excluded or different. One of the more message-driven songs of 1998. And I kind of like this song. It may take you some getting used to, or it's not a classic, country song from 1998. Like I said, it's just a message-driven, but it was pretty good. Like once you listen to it, it's pretty dang good. Here's Mark Willis with Don't Laugh at Me. Brad Pitt and Anthony Hopkins. I haven't watched it in so long because I think the last time I watched it, it was probably on HBO, when they used to run them all the time through HBO. And back then we didn't have Netflix and stuff, so you just watched what was on. You guys are doing great. Going to give my report cards to the big guy. Appreciate it. Tell him we're coming for him. It's on Pluto. I might have to watch that today. Did you watch the fights this weekend or Saturday?
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
You don't seem the type of guy to watch those.
It's crazy. Now that it's on Netflix, it's kind of like, more people are willing to watch it. Before, it was like UFC, I'm not paying $60, $70. But if I'm already paying for Netflix or something and it's going to be on there, then I'll check it out.
I have to go to Atlanta.
Yeah, a lot of people do that. I love Pluto. It's because I'm old enough now. It's like TV land was to my dad. Like he could just watch that, and I got used to watching that. Like Happy Days, Sanford and Son, My Three Sons, all that stuff. But that was his channel because that was what he grew up watching, and that's how Pluto is for me. Because like all the movies are movies that I know, and it's free. It's got Nickelodeon channels on there. It's got a Garfield channel on there. check that out. Yeah, they got all kind of stuff. They got Nickelodeon, a Nicktoons channel, all my Hey Arnolds and stuff like that, Rugrats, all that stuff, man. It's like in 2009, the $5 bin at Walmart. Like that was my stuff back then because it was all the movies I grew up watching. So like every payday, it was time to hit that $5 bin.
Mark Wills, Don't Laugh at Me. That was September 15th, 1998.
Yes, sir. That's a pretty good song. I like it. Like I said, it's not an upbeat, what you typically get from a country, a 1998 country song anyway. Because about that time is when everything's getting rebranded, I guess you could say. Let's talk about what happened this weekend at the Born and Raised Festival between Zach Bryan and Gavin Adcock. Now, this goes back to before, it didn't just happen this weekend, right? What sparked the feud, the tension seems to have started earlier in July of 2025 when a 14-year-old fan publicly expressed disappointment that Zach Bryan did not do a meet and greet photo or other fan interaction after a show. Bryan defended himself on social media, saying that after a long concert, rest is necessary and that fans aren't entitled to photos and hellos. Gavin Adcock publicly criticized how Bryan handled the fans' criticism. Adcock argued that Bryan was dismissive of the fans' feelings and accused him of putting a mask on for public image and suggested Bryan wasn't treating fans with the respect they deserve. Now, I see what Gavin's saying. And, for people who work regular jobs that pay for these tickets and stuff, you kind of feel that way because, without the fans, there would be no artist, the big names that without the fans. So you kind of feel snubbed when they don't do it. But perfect example, last weekend, I went to go watch Stained, the rock band in Tulsa, right? And we get out of the venue, and I go outside, and I see Aaron, what's his name? Not Watson. What is his name? Sings a Country Boy.
I wish I could help you out.
But, the lead singer, it's not Watson. I'll keep wanting to say Watson. It's not Watson. Let me. Aaron Lewis. I grew up on a dirt road. Back, that guy. He's the lead singer of Stained. I go outside and, they got a gate right here and I see the tour bus. And I also see him taking pictures with the casino because it was at one of the casinos. I see him taking pictures with the security and, the higher ups at the casinos, backstage type stuff. And, of course, I was like, hey, man, you rock, all that stuff like that. I didn't fully expect him to come walking, because it was on the other side of the building. You could see them, but it wasn't like they were close. I didn't expect him to come running over and, start signing autographs and stuff like that. It's not what you expect. Would it have been nice? Yes, but I'm not gonna hate him for it, because he didn't. Because, I've been listening to Stained and stuff since the 90s. So it's not, don't take it personal. Some days it's just like when you get off work, you're kind of done. Maybe you wasn't feeling well. Maybe something. Give him a little credit because what you don't see, everybody sees the. On stage, they only sing for an hour and stuff. What you don't see is the constant touring, the constant wake up. You got a show to do. You got meet and greets before the show because people paid for them. You got sound check at 4:00. The show doesn't start till 9. but you got to do sound check at 4. And then you got to make sure you're good between that 5 hours. Make sure nothing happens. So you got to, take your nap or whatever. Don't take too long of a nap. You don't want to be drowsy or, anything when to wake up for the show. But just the constant traveling. How many times, everybody, I think, when they go on vacation, you're gone a week. I think everybody needs that one day in between before they go back to work. Some people just go right back to work, and hats off to them. But I, for one, need a day in between where I get back and I just need that day of just rest, because traveling it wears on you, staying awake on the road, that it's not really physical weariness, it's mental, because you have to stay awake. You're on constant watch with the other vehicles on the highway and all this stuff. So I wouldn't be too hard on him, but I get what he's saying. Now, the Born and Raised Festival incident, what happened, it was in Pryor, Oklahoma. The Born and Raised is always up there every year. And Adcock was scheduled to perform. Brian apparently made a surprise appearance, though not on the same set. Before Adcock's set, Brian approached a gate with barbed wire. Where Adcock was backstage or near his setup, Brian shouted at Adcock, "Hey, do you want to fight like a man? Come up to the gate." Brian pushed the fence toward Adcock and later attempted to climb over it. And security intervened and prevented a physical fight. Now, Brian did not attempt to climb over the fence. Zach Bryan did climb over the fence. And to me, I get it. Gavin Adcock posted video footage, confrontation, in mocking text captions. One caption was, "When you get death threats from," I'm not going to say that, what he calls them, "before you headline in his hometown, eat a Snickers, bro." Adcock later explained that he decided to stir Brian up, but he didn't want to fight, in part because he had a show to perform and didn't want to risk legal trouble or canceling his set. Now, I get that, but also if a guy climbs a fence, a barbed wire fence at the top, it's got the 3 lines of the barbed wire at the top of the fence. If a guy climbs over that to fight you, I think you got to man up. It's like, bro, now he's getting a lot of flack for being a keyboard warrior, because he'll post stuff, videos and stuff for social media, but when it was right there in front of his face, he got security involved and started walking back. So let us know how you feel about that. What do you think?
I saw the videos on social, and I want to be on Gavin's side, just the way Zach handled the situation. I mean, he pushed the fence,
yeah,
that was goofy for him to do that.
I get, it's unbecoming behavior, but also that's country music. That's always happened, backstage. I love watching, they make TikToks and stuff about that, about the stories backstage. George Jones and, all these guys. And I just think if the guy climbs a fence, it's time to go. Give him what he wants. At that point, there ain't no backing down. No, just as a man, if you really want it, okay. If he stays on the other side of the fence, okay, no problem. Hey, we'll do this another time. But I don't know. I mean, I get he's got a show to do and stuff, but how awesome would it have been to get to a scrap and then do the show? Ripped shirt, busted lip, hey, Gavin Adcock's a big dude, pretty stout looking dude. So I venture to say that, he'd been all right. A little scruffle here and there, but imagine how awesome the show would have been if you got up on stage after that. And just me and Zach Bryan just had a fight back there. Everybody that's on his side, at his show is going to be hooping and hollering. So I kind of would have gave the people what they wanted.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't put my money on Gavin.
Yeah, I mean, he's all there. I'll tell you that right now. That's a big dude. Tall and just big in stature. So I think he'd been all right. But let us know what you think. If you caught it, let us know. 286-6642 or go in the chat on our Facebook or YouTube Live. Next song we have up is You're Gone by Diamond Rio. Now, this song is a reflective ballad about grief and the pain of losing someone. Its harmonies and heartfelt delivery showcases Diamond Rio's strength in blending emotion and musicianship. Here's Diamond Rio with You Are Gone. See, some of these songs I've never heard. I don't remember hearing this one. I don't remember the Vince Gill. I remember Don't Laugh at Me. I remember I'm All Right by Joe D. Messina. I'll Go On Loving You by Alan Jackson. Where the Green Grass Grows. I don't remember Cover You in Kisses. I don't remember 25 Cents. I remember True and How Long Gone. I remember that one.
A penny for your thoughts, a nickel for a kiss, a dime for a phone call. That's only 16 cents. Interesting. Uh-oh.
What's up?
Paramount has spoken out against a growing boycott of Israel film institutions.
Uh-oh.
Everybody's starting to learn.
Oh, Andrew's gonna love this. September 15th, National Cheeseburger Day. National Cheese Toast Day. National Tackle Kids Cancer Day. National Online Learning Day. National Neonatal Nurses Day. National Linguini Day. And National Cream de Mint Day. All right, that was Diamond Rio with You're Gone, the number 8 song for the top 10 country songs of September 15th, 1998. Now we talk about the Gavin Adcock and the Zach Bryan feud. Here, how about some feuds in country music that maybe you may not have known? How about Miranda Lambert and Blake Shelton? I think everybody knows about that one. Why it's lesser known, most people know they divorced, but not everyone knows how it bled into passive aggressive jabs in songs and social media. What happened? Lambert released Vice and Tin Man, interpreted as post-breakup commentary. Shelton tweeted, cryptically after their divorce, and fans read a lot into both lyrics. Casey Musgraves and country radio. The feud is not a direct artist-to-artist beef, but Casey has long criticized mainstream country radio's treatment of women, and by extension, artists who go along with the system. It's created tension with more radio-friendly artists like Luke Bryan and Jason Aldean, even if it's not a direct call-out. I could see that though, but I could see that where she's coming from, because for the longest, it's country music is a male-driven genre. Morgan Wallen and Jason Isbell. After Wallen was caught on video using a racial slur, Isbell, whose song Wallen had covered, publicly distanced himself and donated the royalties to the NAACP. Wallen didn't respond directly, but the move drew a line between old school songwriting artists like Isbell and mainstream stars like Wallen. Natalie Maines from the Dixie Chicks versus Toby Keith. I remember this. She wore a shirt at the CMA Awards, or one of the award shows, and it had on her shirt, it just had FUTK. And I remember that being a big deal. The feud peaked in the early 2000s after Maines criticized George W. Bush. Toby Keith responded by using a photoshopped image of Maines, I'm just going to say Maines, image of Maines with Saddam Hussein during his shows. It's overshadowed by the Dixie Chicks' general fallout with country radio, but this was personal and ugly. Ooh, Miranda getting back up in here. Eric Church and Miranda Lambert. In 2012, Rolling Stone interviewed Church said, reality show contestants like The Voice or American Idol don't deserve to be in country music. But my, how Eric Church has fallen since 2012. Impact, Lambert, who met Blake Shelton on The Voice, responded sharply. Church later apologized, but it exposed deep attitudes towards authenticity of country music. But let's be honest, how authentic are these country artists nowadays? We got Micah's Monday Morning Pick Me Up coming up in about 13 minutes. We got the number 7 song of the top country songs on September 15th, 1998. This is Joe D. Messina with I'm All Right. Now, this song is an upbeat, empowering track about bouncing back from struggles and finding resilience. It became one of Messina's signature songs. Here's I'm All Right by Joe D. Messina. We play this one, don't we?
You said what?
We play this one, don't we? Like usually on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Cassie, check that out. Pluto. Good morning, Fast. Can you play Zach Brown Band Chicken Fried? Thank you. Yes, sir. We can get that on for you. I'm doing all right. You want to read something?
What's up?
Or you want to read anything? Or
Yeah, you read the next one?
yeah. All right, that was Joe D. Messina with "I'm All Right," your number 7 song of the top 10 country songs on September 15th, 1998. Give us a call, 286-6642. We got Zach Brown Band coming up with Chicken Fried. Thank you, Thas, for the online on our YouTube for your request. We got that coming up for you right here in a second. We're going to continue our top 10 songs of September 15, 1998. Right after this, here's Zach Brown Band, Chicken Fried. Over here talking about Zach Bryan all this time. That's why I wanted to say, well, so I was like, it's not Zach Brown. It's not Zach Brown. Next thing you know, we'd be in the news. Local country radio station blames Zach Brown Band.
And that's home, you know, sweet tea, pecan pie, homemade wine, where peaches grow. My house is not much to talk about, but still when love is grown in southern ground, and a little bit of chicken fried. Cold beer on Friday night, a pair of jeans that fit just right, and the radio up, a light sweet song. See the love in my woman's eyes, feel the touch of a precious child, and know a mother's love. It's funny how it's the little things in life that mean the most. Not where you live, what you drive, or the price tag on your clothes. There's no dollar sign on peace of mind. This time coming up. So if you agree, have a drink with me. Raise your glasses for a toast to a little bit of chicken fried. Cold beer on Friday night, a pair of jeans that fit just right, and the radio I like to see sunrise. See the love in my woman's eyes, feel the touch of a precious child, and know a mother's love. Thank God for my life. Four stars and stripes, made freedom forever fly. Let it rain. Salute the ones who died, the ones that give their lives, so we don't have to sacrifice all the things we love, like our chicken fried. We go beer on Friday night, a pair of jeans that fit just right, and the precious child. And no mother's love is a little tick-tock. Go there on Friday night, a pair of jeans and your world will not see sunlight. See the love in a woman's eyes, feel the touch of a precious child. You know mother's love.
Going on this only news.
Okay, go. You'll be in trouble.
This is news from the Oklahoma News Network. About 500 people gathered in an Edmond grocery store parking lot last night to honor slain conservative activist Charlie Kirk. The Edmond gathering was picture leaned in his podium and candles were lit as the crowd sang Amazing Grace. Charlie Kirk was also remembered during a revival that took place over the weekend at the Oral Roberts University Media Center in Tulsa. You know, all those in Tulsa attended the revival.
I believe that worship is the answer to a lot of our problems, and overcoming fear with faith and praise and worship is the way to overcome any of that.
During the 3 days. Notice how there's no riots or sacrificing cities, did it?
Yeah.
The revival was planned long before last week's assassination, but organizers say it was important to remember Kirk and give those attending an opportunity to come together and pray for the nation to come together. In the wake of a rape and stabbing along the trails at Tulsa's Turkey Mountain, the city is launching a Turkey Hiking Buddies program. Volunteers leading the way through trails so people can walk in groups. Listen, Pastor tells students in Oklahoma the buddy program is a great idea.
I'm excited that there's this wonderful group of people. The weather is amazing, and I'm excited that there's an organized group so I could potentially meet new people.
The city has also quadrupled the number of cameras along.
Who said is up a lot?
Damage
What?
estimated in the tens of thousands of dollars after vandalism.
Says on all of them.
More high schools banned trails.
What's that?
Balad?
Is
that how you pronounce that?
Estimated $250,000 to replace. More than
B-A-
Oh, ballad.
Ballad.
Yeah.
Band director said
That's like your,
when the vandalism took place. Hope to get-
Like your slower piano riff,
Next month,
love song type,
Taylor carries an estimated $400,000 in equipment.
like the don't laugh, that soft kind of.
US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting. A teenager, learning the lingo.
Today I'm going to help parents translate teen slang. Now, when a teen says something is on fleek, it's exactly like saying that's rad. It simply means that something is awesome or cool. Another one is totes. It's exactly like saying totally or sure. As in, I totes love going to the mall, that kind. Another word you might hear is jelly. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your uniform phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will think you're, rad, just the same. To learn more, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Toledo residents are under a boil order today thanks to a broken 12-inch water main. Trouble began.
That should lead straight into your
Highway 21. Police City Manager Julie Castine telling News Oklahoma they hope to resolve the problem soon.
Unfortunately, they ran into a problem on Friday. We had planned to have the water turned off for a few hours Friday while school was out for the fall festival. 2 contractors came, tried, couldn't get it done.
There's still no word how long the boil order will last. City officials say the water can be used for showers and baths. One person is dead following a shooting in Tulsa. Police were called in an area of Main and 44th Street North over the weekend and found the man dead at the scene. The investigation continues. And several people are in the hospital after a 3-car wreck that Tulsa police say was caused by 2 cars racing. It happened on Saturday near 15th and South Memorial. Police say one of the racers knocked an SUV into a car beside it. I'm Brian Gibb.
This is the ONN, the Oklahoma News Network.
That's right. Good morning, McCurtain County. That's means it's time for Micah's Monday morning pick me up here on Idabel's First 96.7 KBEL. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Oran Jackson.
Good morning,
How are you?
Micah. I'm doing outstanding. How are you?
I'm doing all right. I'm doing a lot better than those Chief fans out there today. They're 0-2 this morning. But that's all right. You know, sometimes you got to take a loss to really love winning. Like, you know, if you win too much, and I feel like the Chiefs have had their share of winning over the past, 5 or 6 years. So, and you know, every now and then a loss in a difficult season makes you appreciate those good seasons even more. I tell you right now, those Patriot fans are still missing Tom Brady to this day and what they once had. They had a good run, about 20 years, almost 20 years. Everybody, it's a brand new week, and that means it's a brand new opportunity to set the tone for everything ahead. Too often, Mondays get a bad reputation. We roll out of bed thinking about how long this week will feel or how much we've got on our plate. Everybody juggling softball, football practice, band, everything. If you got multiple kids, you know what I'm talking about. Trying to get them here, trying to get them there. This is a different way to look at it. Every week is like a blank notebook. And Monday, that's the first page. The way you can start to shape the whole story. So what's your mission this week? Maybe it's finishing that project at work, being more present with your family, or finally making time for your health. It doesn't have to be something huge, but it does have to be intentional. When you give your week a mission, suddenly your choices, your energy, and your attitude all start to line up with that goal. Here's the secret. Mission fuels momentum. When you know why you're doing what you're doing, you don't just get through the week. You grow through it. There's an inspirational speaker. I can't remember his name, but he uses a lot of foul language that, we're not going to be able to play his, any of his videos on air. But he gets his point across. He's not for radio friends, but he gets his point across usually he speaks to like the athletes, the businessmen. One of his deal is, what's got you full that you're not hungry anymore? What did you eat that made you not hungry anymore for what you want? Whether, at that time he was talking to a football team, professional football team. Like, what did you eat to not make you not want to get better? Because, that's what the saying, stay hungry. Stay looking for that championship, because maybe that's what's going on with the Chiefs. They got so used to making it to the championship, and right now they're 0-2. It's looking further and further away from getting back to the playoffs, or something that maybe you took for granted. Today, don't just shift into Monday. Take 5 minutes. Write down your mission. Carry it with you. By Friday, you'll be amazed of how much more focused, fulfilled, and fired up you feel. This has been your Micah's Monday morning pick-me-up, reminding you, start the week on a mission, and the mission will carry you through the week. Stay tuned here on Idabel's First 96.7. We're doing our top 10 songs, country songs, on September 15th, 1998. And we have a slow ballad, a poetic slow ballad about eternal love by Alan Jackson. Jackson delivers it with emotional restraint, emphasizing timeless devotion. In this song, I'll Go On Loving You. Here on 96.7 KBEL. The Jets fans are missing Mark Sanchez. No, we are not. We are not missing Mark Sanchez. any real Jets fans knows. Mark Sanchez was to the Jets is what Ken Dorsey was to the 2000 Miami Hurricanes. He had all that talent around him that had they had a decent quarterback, a great quarterback, that class would have went 3 national championships in a row undefeated. Ken Dorsey lost those games. Think about it like this. The amount of talent that Ken Dorsey had for his 3 years at Miami, and he never won the Heisman, never even was a runner-up. Like he got to New York, but he was always like 5th or 4th on the list. He was never up there. So the amount of talent that he had, he still couldn't win the Heisman. You're talking about Andre Johnson, Santana Moss, like Hall of Fame names. How'd those Broncos do yesterday? A lot of ballads on this top 10. They got cheated. I bet they did. I suppose Canelo got cheated as well, huh? He only lost by 1. So no, or we only lost by 1. No, Canelo, sorry. All right, that was I'll Go On Loving You by Alan Jackson, the number 6 songs on our top 10 country songs of September 15th, 1998. Let's talk about some sports. Big games and upsets. Texas A&M upset number 8 Notre Dame over the weekend, making them 0-2 to start the season. But somehow they're ranked 18th still. How is that even possible? You're 0-2. You have no wins just because you started a top 5 team. That's why you shouldn't even worry about the rankings at the beginning of the season. Georgia beat Tennessee in overtime, and my cousin hit me up. He's like, "You watching the Tennessee game?" I was like, "No." He's like, "Tennessee is rolling on Georgia." And at that time, they were up like 21-7 or something like that. It looked like Tennessee was going to run away with it, but here comes Georgia, staying fierce, staying resilient. They come back, tie it up, go to overtime, and then Georgia ends up winning. Let's see. Notre Dame fell to number 20 from number 8 to 24. How are they still ranked? Texas A&M jumped into the top 10 at number 10 after the upset. Miami Hurricanes move up to the number 4 after a strong performance against USF. Georgia rose to number 5 following the OT win over Tennessee. And Oregon slipped slightly to number 6, partly due to their schedule strength. Now, among the sports, we had our Little River rivalry, Little River Rumble. That's what I'm going to call it. I'm old school. Little River Rumble over the weekend, where the Idabel Warriors fell to the Broken Bow Savages 49-12. But I venture to say, after watching it, Idabel has nothing to hang their hat on. They put up a pretty good fight. I know the scoreboard doesn't seem like it, but for a while, I mean, they held Broken Bow for a good minute. Later on, it happened. You make adjustments and stuff. Later on, Broken Bow was able to put more points on the board, but for a little bit, Idabel was hanging with them. So there's nothing to hang your hat on. All right, hang your hat on. Hey, get better this week. Going into, I think Broken Bow's got a bye this week. Idabel, I'm not sure. Valiant. Let's talk about Valiant starting 3-0. I can't remember how long Valiant has started 3-0 with the 47-18 win over Rush Springs. Let's look at what Idabel's got this week. They have Ashdown at 7:30. So good week for the boys to re-up. Hey, start this Monday. Hey, it's a new week. Let's fix what's broken and let's get after it. Broken Bow, I do believe, has a bye this week. Next game will be on the 26th at Glenpool at 7 p.m. That's when their districts start. So, Idabel Warriors, hey, let's fix it. Hey, you got a week. Started off fresh Monday. We're talking about the top 10 country songs of September 15th, 1998. And this one is by the one and only Tim McGraw with his nostalgic anthem about escaping the city for the peace of country living. Its themes and simplicity and home struck a chord with the country fans. And here's the Tim McGraw with Where the Green Grass Grows here on 96.7 KBEL. Cornello, 99 cent heart attack. Black. where the green grass grows. I told you Crawford was going to win Saturday, Sean Duggan. I told you. I told everybody. Everybody was going for Canelo. But I watched Terrence Crawford when he was – the fact that this is his third weight class that he's dominating in. I knew it because I watched him at his lowest weight class. And he was dominating then. Once I seen him fight, I was like, nah, I'm taking him every time. All right, that was Tim McGraw with Where the Green Grass Grows. And if you're here in McCurtain County, you may know a couple people that know where that green grass grows. On second look at sports, what about the Oklahoma Sooners? They prevailed over Temple 42-3. Poor Temple. Oklahoma State had a bye. And your Tulsa Hurricanes failed 23-42 to Navy. And another sports, we had the Canelo and Terrence Crawford fight over the weekend, where Terrence Crawford unanimously defeated Canelo. And I know a lot of people were disappointed in that, but that's okay. I put my money on Crawford because I watched him fight back in, I want to say like 2019, 2020, something like that. And once I seen the kid fight, that was it. I was like, my money's always going to be on Crawford. And everybody around me, they chose Canelo. I understand he was great and stuff, but I mean, Crawford as you saw, Crawford is a whole different beast. So congratulations. That is Terrence Crawford's third weight class that he's dominating in. And he's now 42-0. So watch out. Another 30 years, Jake Paul just may be coming for you, Mr. Crawford. We're doing our 1998, September 15th, top country songs. It's 3 minutes after the hour. And we got Cover You in Kisses by John Michael Montgomery. And this is a lighthearted and romantic song that celebrates playful affection and love, typical of Montgomery's smooth contemporary country style. Here's John Michael Montgomery. I don't remember this. I tried to tell you, Sean Duggan.
You say it's cold back there in Denver. Put up new snow on the ground. You're all bundled up in blankets. I'd give anything to be there with you now. I cover you in kisses, hold you in my arms. That's all that I can think of. Every minute we're apart, darling, I've been living for the moment that we touch, so I can cover you in kisses, wrap you in my love.
Jackson with KBO. Yes, ma'am. Ragged old flag.
Ragged old flag. But I think it's time we got to face reality. It's time to make these fights start at like 5 o'clock. Somebody post on Facebook. It was like the real fight was us 35-plus-year-olds trying to stay awake during the last fight. I fell asleep. I woke up and they're interviewing Terrence Crawford in the ring. But that's because I knew my boy was going to win. See, I don't even remember this song. I was at the number 4 song. You doing Ragged Old Flag next?
No, let's go these songs.
Okay. All right, that was Cover You in Kisses by John Michael Montgomery. I don't remember that song. I'd have been about 10 years old. Now, about now, going on 10 when this came out. I remember the majority of these. I don't remember some of these. But up next, number 3 song, we got 25 Cents by the Wilkersons. And I don't remember this one either. If you do, give us a call, 286-6642, and let us know what you were doing back in 1998. I was still in school. 26 Cents by the Wilkersons is a coming-of-age story about leaving home with the symbolic 26 cents, a penny for your thoughts, a nickel for a kiss, and a dime for a phone call. A heartfelt debut hit for the Canadian family trio. Here's 26 Cents by the Wilkersons. Hey, what was that? He was from Oklahoma. His name was Billy. He was country singer. He's a kid. Billy Gilman. Child star in the early 2000s with his hit One Voice. We're going to do 2000s next time, so we can play some Billy Gilman. One Voice. Or what was it? One Voice Was Heard or something like that. I can't remember. Do you remember Billy Gilman? We might have to play Billy Gilman. Just I ain't heard that song in so long. He was from Oklahoma, wasn't he? Heck no. I always thought he was from Oklahoma. He's from Rhode Island. The heck did he know about country music? Sean, what you cooking this morning? Or what did you cook this morning? No, they eat at 9, don't they? All right, that was 26 Cents by the Wilkersons. We got your national days, notable birthdays, and memorable events coming up in about 8 minutes. But we got 2 songs left of our top 10 songs of September 1998, September 15th, 1998. Here are some songs that may surprise you that didn't make the top 10 for whatever reason. Number 11, Shania Twain, Honey, I'm Home. Randy Travis at 12 with The Hole. Reba McEntire at 13 with Forever Love. Lone Star at 14 with Everything's Changed. Number 15, Faith Hill and Tim McGraw, Just to Hear You Say That You Love Me. 16, Clint Black, Loosen Up My Strings. 17, Leanne Rimes, Nothing New Under the Moon. Number 18, Leanne Womack with Little Past Little Rock. The Dixie Chicks at number 19, There's Your Trouble. And number 20, Garth Brooks with You Move Me. So those songs just fell outside of the top 10 on this day in 1998. We got 2 songs left, and they're pretty good. And I know these 2 songs because I guess I should know they were the top 2 hits. This first one comes all the way from George Strait, a tender ballad about sincerity and devotion in love. Strait's neo-traditional sound keeps it simple, heartfelt, and timeless. Here's George Strait with True. Build your own burrito day. I'm finna come eat then.
Only if we like a Chipotle. You like Chipotle?
I've never had it.
You got some fat burritos.
I heard they do. I heard that's pretty good. I just never, for whatever reason, if I go somewhere that has a Chipotle, I usually have something else in mind at that time. Like last week, we went to Texarkana for, no, it was 2 weeks ago. We went to Texarkana for my son's football game. And, well, it was in Atlanta, Texas. We ended up coming to Atlanta or Detroit. I always get those mixed up. Anyway, I think it was Atlanta. But we come back through Texarkana, and Dairy Queen was just on my mind for some reason. I was like, bro, I need Dairy Queen. Like, I gotta get me a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup Blizzard, and I got the steak finger basket with the gravy and the toast.
They used to have an Annabelle.
Yeah, it used to be good, man. It used to be good. Then they demolished it.
For what?
I think the owner sold it or something, or it was just getting too bad because it was old. Like it was. I don't think the owner. I think the owner was old enough to where he didn't keep the upkeep on the buildings because the same owner owned that one in DeKalb. There used to be one in DeKalb right before you get that four-way. He owned that one, Idabel's, and then he owned like 5 of them. And I think he was just so old that he didn't care anymore. He was just like, I'm done. I'm kind of done. Good morning, 96.7 KBEL. Oh, not much. How you doing today? They're number 3. Yeah, I think the top 3 stayed the same. Yeah, it was pretty good, ain't it? Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. What's that? Yeah. All right, man. You take it easy. All right, bye. All right, that was your number 2 song, True, by George Strait. And the long-awaited number 1 song. Dun, 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 dun. This song is a heartache song about waiting for a loved one's return and not knowing when they'll be back. It's a classic by the one and only Brooks and Dunn. It's a mix of honky-tonk energy and emotional lyrics. Here's your number 1 song on September 15th, 1998 by Brooks and Dunn, How Long Gone? Gonna be. Make me a burrito, Sean. Make both of us a burrito. Or in Jackson, say he'll give you a shout out. He said it's got to be as big as Chipotle's though. So don't be messing around with us.
This person texted me last week, or texted the thing. He said, today is 9/11 birthday. I am special. I'm just down, low. Ain't nobody do anything to me today.
Dang.
Sorry, last text was sent one person, and I went back.
We hope you're okay. We hope you're still with us.
I actually called her.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. She kind of like blew me off too.
Did she?
Yeah.
Like,
I was like, hope today's gonna be a great day. She's like, okay, yeah.
I'm just trying to help.
Yeah, like, I thought you were down, so I thought I'd give you a call.
Just trying to do my due diligence in case I was the last person that you reached out to.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking. I was like, yo, I could save this person's life.
And it's people that like that ruin it for other people. Where it was like, nah, I tried that one time and they blew me off.
Yeah, like I'm never reaching out again.
Yeah. When it could make all the difference next time. You want to play Ragged Old Flag after all this? Or after I do the national days and stuff? All right, that was your number one song from 1998 on this day, September 15th. How Long Gone by Brooks and Dunn. And it's time for your national days, notable birthdays, and memorable events. 22 minutes after the hour, your national days for September 15th, National Double Cheeseburger Day. As one of America's favorites, National Double Cheeseburger Day on September 15th recognizes a food icon savored across the U.S. We are bringing you double the taste on the delicious food holiday. It's National Cheese Toast Day. On September 15th, National Cheese Toast Day savors the greasy goodness on the classic dish. National Tackle Kids Cancer Day. National Tackle Kids Cancer Day on September 15th gives you a chance to be part of the cure for pediatric cancer research. Join other Tackle Kids Cancer supporters by volunteering to rally our community and raise the needed funds for pediatric cancer research. National Online Learning Day. On September 15th, National Online Learning Day recognizes the advantages and vast potential of online learning. It also honors the accomplishments of online students everywhere. National Neonatal Nurses Day. On September 15th, each year, National Neonatal Nurses Day recognizes those who care for the most fragile patients as they take their first breaths. The celebration takes place in the middle of National Neonatal Intensive Care Awareness Month. National Linguine Day. On September 15th, National Linguine Day fills the dinner menu at home and restaurants across the country. If you're anything like us, you're already planning on finding the quickest and easiest way to celebrate the tasty food holiday. National Creme de Menthe Day. National Creme de Menthe Day on September 15th recognizes the creamy peppermint flavored liquor used in cocktails and desserts. Enjoy your favorite combination to celebrate. And it's National Felt Hat Day, fellas. On September 15th, tip your hat for National Felt Hat Day. The observant recognizes a stylish head protection worn throughout history. Your notable birthdays for September 15th. James Fenimore Cooper, 1789, author of the novel The Last of the Mohicans. George Franklin Grant, 1846, the first Black professor at Harvard who also invented an early version of the golf tee. Edward Boucher, 1852. No, not Bobby Boucher, Edward Boucher. The first Black person to earn a PhD from any American university. He earned his degree at Yale University. William Howard Taft, 1857, the 27th President of the United States. Walter E. Rollins, 1906, songwriter who wrote Here Comes Peter Cottontail and Frosty the Snowman. We thank you. Penny Singleton, 1908, voice actress of Jane on the cartoon The Jetsons. Jim Kimsey, 1939, co-founder of AOL. You got mail. Signe Tolley Anderson, 1941, singer and founding member of the rock band Jefferson Airplane. Tommy Lee Jones, 1946, critically acclaimed actor with lead roles in The Fugitive, Coal Miner's Daughter, and Jason Bourne. And last but not least, Fred Siebert, 1951, co-founder of MTV. We thank you for 5 years of music and 20 years of ridiculousness. Your memorable events for September 15th, 1789. The Department of Foreign Affairs is renamed the Department of State. 1917, B.C. Forbes and Walter Dry found Forbes magazine. And in 1966, President Johnson urges gun control legislation as a response to a sniper attack at a University of Texas in Austin. Well, what a coincidence. That has been your National Days, notable birthdays, and memorable events for September 15th. Stay tuned for Trading Lines coming up at 8:30. Till then, here's our last request of the day. Johnny Cash with Ragged Old Flag.
Town Square, on a park bench, an old man was sitting there. I said, your old courthouse is kind of run down. He said, no, it'll do fine.
National Double Cheeseburger Day. I know what we eating today.
It's lean a little bit. That's a
You have a good day too, Thias. Appreciate you tuning in.
He said, have a seat. And I sat down. Is this the first time you've been to our little town? I said, I think it is. I don't like to brag, but we're kind of proud.
Proud of that ragged old flag.
You see, we got a little hole in that flag there when Washington took it across the Delaware. And it got powder burned the night that Francis Scott Key said, watching it right.
National Cinnamon Raisin Day. Tomorrow. Cinnamon Raisin
We got a
Bread.
bad rip in New Orleans. Packenham and Jackson took it, it seemed. And it almost fell.
Sean, we want our burritos.
Beside the Texas flag, but she waited on it. She got cut with a sword at Chancellorsville, and she got cut again at Shiloh Hill. There was Robert E. Lee, Beauregard, and Bragg, and the south wind blew hard on that ragged old flag. On Flanders Field in World War I, she got a big hole from a Bertha gun. She turned blood red in World War II. She hung limp and low a time or two. She was in Korea, Vietnam. She went where she was sent.
We'll build mine. I said it's build your own. We'll build ours. Or send us the ingredients. Just send us the trays. We'll build our own if we got to.
She's been burned, dishonored, denied, refused. And the government for which she stands is scandalized throughout the land. And she's getting threadbare and she's wearing thin, but she's in good shape. Shape she's in. She's been through the fire before. And I believe she can take a whole lot more. So we raise her up every morning, we take her down every night, we don't let her touch the ground, and we fold her upright. On second thought, I do like to brag, because I'm mighty proud of that
Ragged old flag. All right, y'all, we up out of here. We'll see you tomorrow, 7 a.m.